I observe all protocols. So I want to believe that what you are trying to put forward is you have a business idea and you want to help the schools, the entire school, administration, teachers, students, to key into value education, relevant education. Because you're thinking of the education being worthwhile enough to even make, and then should impact the community, the students and all, to the extent that nobody will want to harm the school or attack it. I don't know, but it depends on the motive of the attackers, if that will be enough to douse them, why not? But I particularly want to appreciate the fact that now certificates are no longer selling. What is selling is skills. So if your idea can impact on our students and make them begin as young as that age to think about entrepreneurship and how to be independent without coming out now to be carrying certificate to look for job, I think that would be very okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Maybe you may want to think about this. I know you are short on time. Ronela had a book he called What Are Schools For? John Goodlad had What Schools Are For? And Oliver Steinberg had Beyond the Classroom. And the three of them are talking about something. It seems that the schools are being asked to do more than they should. It looks like when every sector fails, the school is asked to take it up. And as it's being stretched, then the school is bending and they're not efficient in any or effective. Think about it.
Any other input or question?
Sir, we know that the government has a body that works on the curriculum offering of schools in Nigeria. To what extent do you work in collaboration with this? Because some of these things are supposed to germinate from there.
One more comment or input?
Yes, thank you very much. So on the first comment slash question, yes, indeed, you're right. So on the second, I know I went so fast on it, I was trying to keep to time, that's why. So on the community side of things was when I said, yes, community gets to see the school as an enabler to their own development, yes. But most importantly, what you said is tied to the second category, which is on the business and professional life. So for us, when we look at entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial thinking, we see the result of it being that the student either goes on employment or he goes on business route. But as we said, the foundation of what we are trying to achieve both with is entrepreneurial thinking, meaning the one going for the employment route, beyond his certificate of WAEC and having A's and all and everything like that, he is also presenting himself, representing himself, almost thinking like the owner of the organization. So what that means is that he's thinking of how influential the brand of that organization is, and he's pitching and selling himself as somebody that can improve that brand. On the second that I mentioned regarding value of the product and service, he's presenting himself as somebody who will help the value of the product or service that that organization that is hiring is producing basically. And on the profitability side of things, he's presenting himself as somebody that will help that organization become profitable as possible. So that makes him more employable. So these 2 points on employment and entrepreneurship obviously will solve the bigger problem or challenge of general basically graduating from school and not having what to do. Because sometimes I always tell people that it's not really that there is unemployment. one of the issues is that there's unemployability. And as I said, for you to be more employable, you should think beyond the certificate. You should also think like the owner of the organization. So that is why for us, when we talk about entrepreneurial thinking, it's more of not just the whole entrepreneurship or setting up a business, but also in employment. So that's why I said as a form of even the competition that will unveil, we're not just investing in the business ideas, but also in professional ideas that the students have to get to present or package their professional profile for employment. So I hope that helps, man. And also, I think generally people also are aware that sometimes, obviously, motive varies, but one of the reasons why there's issues of insecurity and vices in society is tied to the fact that people don't have work to do, or youths don't have work to do, or they are not satisfied with what they are doing. So this will be something that will help reduce that. The second question was, or the second comment was on the curriculum side of things, I think. Stretching the school, okay, having too much expectation of the school in terms of what they deliver. So this is why for us, the process of achieving all of these three aspects of development as an output of education is through the project-based methodology of delivery. Because if you think of curriculum is in three forms, right? One is the content side, number two is the methodology, and three is context. The context, we try to push it, as I said, first around enterprise and business and employment, and number two, we tie it to the locality that the school exists or that the students are going to serve in. So Nigeria, for instance, Lagos, for instance, Northeast, for instance, Africa, for instance. So with the project-based method type of education, as I said, I probably would have, if I had more time to go into how to achieve all of it, because we also have to be mindful that they still have to sit WAEC at the end of the day. So it's important that as they are learning and executing on their project and task, that also they are able to pass WAEC, JAM, and everything that comes with standardized exams. I hope I answered.
Then the last question.
Yes, there was another.
Partnership with government.
Okay. In synergy with the regulators and like NARDC, the National Education Resource Development, who are in charge of the curriculum, and also the SUPEPs and the Ministry of Education. Yes, we do work with them, not in terms of not all the way down to the level of the substance of what goes on in the classroom for the students. At the moment, we're only at the level of working with the teachers that deliver the national curriculum. So, and there's a reason why we do that. The first approach that we have with the Ministry of Education and also the other agencies of government who regulate what goes on in the classroom is that it's important that whatever we're doing does not eliminate what's going on in the national policy of education. And it also doesn't eliminate anything that is in the curriculum, the national curriculum. So we had to, instead of presenting a new form of curriculum or a new form of approach to the teaching or assessment, we had to augment it with what they are currently doing. So the same way you will learn the topics of mathematics or of English that exist in the national curriculum, you will still be able to teach it and students will learn it, but it's just that the methodology has changed in terms of process of achieving it, which is why I said the project method, but also context within the business and the enterprise side of things. So let me give an example. It will be if you're a mathematics teacher, for instance, and you're coming in to teach algebra or geometry or numbers and relation word problems and all the others aspects of algebra, of mathematics. Anyway, any of the 4 or 5 elements of mathematics, you are teaching it within the context of scenarios that have been provided in the business setting. So it could be a business that is failing in terms of its revenue or in terms of its profitability. So as you know, every business, every organization, whether you are for profit or non-profit, and even at the government level, you have something that is called a financial statement. So tying financial statements to whatever is going on in the classroom in algebra, or as I said, in numbers and numeration, or in word problems. This is how we get to achieve the two. But beyond that, we also provide avenues for students to do extra and co-curricular activities through clubs and activities outside of the school, the normal school timetable. That is the way that we've been able to get them to even give us a listening ear to what we're doing, so that it doesn't look like we're distorting what they have provided in the calendar and also in the typical scheme of work that exists. So that's just one example of how we've been able to carry them along. But we hope that with time, if they see the value in this new approach to education, then it will be easy to, in the next time, the next period that they are doing the review of the national curriculum, then this can be adopted, or at least elements of it. So this is the hope. Obviously, it's a long. Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Education institutions into entrepreneurial institutions. I don't think that's good. Is that okay? I've tried this in the United States, because as father said, everything that happens, they say education will solve it in the US. I'm talking of the context within which I schooled. And now they wanted, the way they were projecting education, how it would be managed, they were straitjacketing it into business, and it didn't work. Education should be left alone to be education, what it is meant to be. But we can bring in strategies of business to make sure there is value and relevance, out of school. But that does not mean you have to connect our school and turn it into a program institution.
Okay, let me explain that now. Maybe let me clarify. So, what the two group of individuals or people that make the school what it is the students and the teachers, right? So, when we say transforming schools to entrepreneurial institutes, we don't mean transferring them to entrepreneurship institutes. And for it to be entrepreneurial, we're talking about the practices that exist within the entrepreneurial space, it being employed or used in the school system. And as I said, the school itself, whether it's a secondary school or a university or even a primary school, they all exist as organizations or as enterprises. And so, for it to be an entrepreneurial institute, it means if the students and the teachers are enabled to apply these entrepreneurial skills, as I said, within what they're teaching and what they're learning in all the subjects, then for us, it's an entrepreneurial institute. So maybe in terms of context, maybe, I don't know if I've clarified this now, that it's not that the school is changing to be an entrepreneurship institute. It's an entrepreneurial institute. So it means the practices that they are learning is also going to feed to the employment and the business life of the students. And I also usually tell people that education, as you know, is supposed to supply for what the life of the child is going to be afterwards. And if we know that the life of the child is going to be him looking for a job or seeking for looking for a job or setting up a business, then the education system should help him be able to survive and thrive in that type of world, right? Yes. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. That's why I say it's entrepreneurial thinking instead of entrepreneurship. Because even in a household, or even as a person, you still have to make profit to make a living. And when I say profit, of course, it doesn't mean like it's a situation where you have to declare your profit in the typical enterprise or the capitalistic side of life. Even as an individual or as a household, or even as a church, as a mosque, as a business organization, NGO, each of them have to go through a financial cycle. So all of that is what we try to help them to do so that they can do well in wherever they find themselves, in employment and also in the organizations that they set up for themselves. So I hope that clarifies it.